It's actually good. They're bringing back their hookers who smoke fucking major drugs. Crack, meth, fucking PCP. The fucking drugs they filled the 4, 3, 2, 1, the entire fucking house. You could smell it in the kitchen. There fucking was nowhere in this house you couldn't smell. Level 5, the drug den here. They can bring these bitches with all the guns they want all day, dude. Not one of them will make it up to this fucking bedroom. I mean, I'm just gonna sit in here and count the fucking kills, I guess, at this point. And we know what happens when it gets dark here, dude. No, these ones here do not learn, and I can see some reasoning to that because they're so protected by the goddamn fucking politicians. Saudi politicians, US, and some Russian. Now they got a gang of Chinese politicians fucking helping them. So they're fucking convinced. They're convinced. The gang of hookers, there's a new gang of hookers. I witnessed most of them killed here, and that was horrifying. I was a rookie, and I didn't know at first. And my first homicides and everything to do with that was fucking chicks. It was really hard for me. Yeah, it wasn't guys, or it was women being slaughtered, dudes screaming, gargling, everything. That was my first homicides I witnessed. Yeah, it was awful. And it's never ended, and I could never get out. My relatives were telling me I was imagining it, putting it in writing about 1,000,000 times. I was insane, I needed help. I'm imagining all of it. They went on a crusade, and then Jesus started saying after so much had been stated in writing and verbally, and it was so clear that the relatives were just helping. They were helping the two man and woman here, the ISIS terrorists. It was so clear, even to me, and I was a full-on rookie. And these are my relatives. I was trying to trust them. Even to me, it was clear. You need to stop talking to them, dude. They are working against you on this. It was so obvious. And then God started saying, you're never going to speak to her ever again. God started commanding me, do not ever speak to her ever again. God knew that this would be going on to year 2023. He knew. He knew by year 2023 what would be going on. So that's why he told me back then. And I do what I'm told. I stopped having any contact. And I can see why. Ever since then, I've been, chased around by these feds. Both the relatives, all the relatives. The relatives are in some sort of Christian terrorist shit. It all links to AK. All my life, my ears are plugged. It's horrible here, by the way. I can't get into any of this. This is abstract. No one's ever asked me my side of this ever in 5 years. No. No, Americans don't want to hear it, dude. So, you know what I did? I guess, obviously what I did. Why am I guessing? Because I'm not. I talk funny in here. I'm traumatized. You can see what I did. I let everybody talk a lot of shit and take all their criminal actions and to keep doing that on repeat. And I don't have to state a case or do anything anymore. And here we are today. I'm going to fast forward to the gang of hookers, a new one. Same crowd, long hair, Polynesian, Afro-Arab looking. They're prostitutes for ISIS, for African gangs, which is all back to the Saudi Arabian royals. Drug traffickers. That's all this really is. ISIS is not Muslim terrorists. They're drug fucking traffickers. They're trying to take control of Mecca and use religion as a form of, I can't explain all this, dude. I can, but I can't. And it's abstract. It's as abstract as getting into my Alaska family. So bring your fucking gang of hookers. The fact that they're all coming armed is pretty fucking significant. But it's the desperation. So here we are. We bring in our fucking nasty hookers. All armed through the front door. Do you know how high these bitches are? Oh, I do. They're all the same. Oh my God, I have never seen drug abuse like that until I was here. I have never even knew it was fucking possible. That shows how naive I am. I know. It showed a lot to me, this experience in life, this terror cell I survived and I'm still hostage in. It showed a lot to me. It helped me because I have a lot of guilt and shame. Oh God, a lot is an understatement. For my drug abuse that I did for 2 years. Yeah. And my therapist said, dude, your parents your biological primary caregivers. That's what they called them, because they weren't by definitions any sort of family. They said they better have paid for the rehab. They caused all that with you. Your alcoholism and your 2-year stint is their fault. Every therapist ever, dude. And I'm not going to state a case or get into it because it's abstract on a fucking YouTube. I'm on a YouTube video. I'm still hostage in here. I'm still alone. Nobody still to this day wants to speak to me, to ask me anything about anything. I know. So I have a lot of guilt and shame about getting wasted and doing drugs in bathroom at Starbucks, going to the park and sitting there loaded on the bench. This is when I was 29. I didn't do them after that, and I've told my story a million times. It was cocaine. I got really messed up on cocaine. I would do drugs in the bathroom at bars. Nothing else, dude. I didn't. That's why I got out of it. And I don't need to defend myself or start doing this defense. I don't need to do that. I know. But I have so much shame and guilt. Oh yeah, and that's part of when you are a sober person, you always do. And I need to probably get some more counseling for that. I would, or at least talk to some people that are in recovery, because it's been 16 something years and I'm still all guilty and shameful about it, right? And that's not helpful to me. It's been over 15 years. I mean, how long do you have to carry around guilt for smoking drugs in the bathroom at Starbucks? Because that's what I did. Well, I do. And that was my knowledge and experience of drug abuse. That was it. And scoring on the corners, scoring at the park. That was the extent. I don't know anything about big amounts. No, I never had money like that. And I think I was too punk rock and too wacky, you know, too wacky. Which is okay to be wacky. I'm glad it saved my ass. I wasn't cool in the gang crowd. I wasn't cool in the mob crowd. That's fine. I'm glad it saved my ass. It's just this weird anarchist fucking punk who did drugs for 2 years. I'm so glad I got out of it. I praise God for that. And that term, God carried me when I could not carry myself. It makes me cry when I repeat that. God did for me what I could not do for myself. When I'm sitting there on a bench, He fucking carried me through that. And there was that day, it was December 9th. I was 30. I was 30 years old. December 9th. And I walked all the way from Chinatown. I can't remember neighborhoods. I can't remember names. Anyways, I walked all the way up to, no, I'm too traumatized to remember anything. All the way to the Greyhound station. And I never, ever went back to drugs. Never touched the shit again. But I did relapse on alcohol. That's why I have 9 years sober, technically. I have almost a decade of fucking stone cold sobriety. And I love it. And I don't plan to ever change that. But to give yourself a guilt trip 15 years later is something I should probably talk to other people about. But to this day, I'm still trapped in a terror cell. And I don't think I want to talk to other Americans about anything. Other Americans have shown to me everything the rest of the world can see. I don't want to talk to them about anything. I'll talk to someone else from another country who has some time sober, and I'll get over my guilt with them. I have nothing to say to United States citizens, as rightfully I should not. So let these people who I'm talking about, who filled this house with drugs, the ones here, they shoot drugs, these men and women, they shoot drugs. Oh, they're fucking so doped out, they make fucking meth all up and down the street. Let them bring their gang of hookers and the guidance I was getting, and I put it onto the internet at the time. God said, you don't understand how high these people are. I've never been around this kind of drugs. It's like I'm repeating myself, but it showed me how naive I was. To the extent of my drugs is not what really drugs are. That was scary and absolutely life-changing what I went through. But there's way worse drugs you can do. And that shit is what gets you end up in prison and gets you end up in a grave. You keep going down that road, whoa, you can get way worse into drugs than I was. Wow, yeah. And I saw it here as a very sober woman. I saw it here. The fucking drugs they did here, those hookers. And all but 2 were killed here. Yeah, I heard that was my first homicides that I witnessed. Oh God, dead bodies and everything. Yeah, and the fire department told me it was cat litter. That told the counter-terrorist vets at that point in time so much about the insurrection. There's an insurrection with the police and fire here. Okay, that's why there's all these bombs here. That guy you see on video gave his house to a bomb factory. That's all this is about here. Anyways, bring your gang of hookers loaded on PCP with their semi-guns or whatever this fucking shit is. Bring them. Bring them! I was just sitting here and wait for them to get picked off by some military. I don't know. I'm not allowed to know who's picking people off here, but oh my God. And then they chop them up all fucking night. I go in that room and they're blasting the TV 3, 4 in the morning, fucking harvesting organs. To this day, this is still happening. But now it's gotten worse because they're lighting my hallway up with chemical explosives. So what is it, Washington? Is this a bomb factory or an organ harvesting fucking joint? They don't even know here, dude. I don't think they fucking know anymore. I'm so appalled. Goodbye.